Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulaling. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
It's a warm reception to our studio here in Serakunda. This is Star TV News with me, Dada Chan. In the headlines tonight, President Barrow inspects ongoing works in North Bank and Central River region. Rafaela trains members in politics, leadership, and peaceful election promotion. Peace ambassadors, the Gambia conveyed stakeholders dialogue following voter list observation exercise. Asafo dismissed claim he belongs to Ahmadi sect. On the international scene, US, UK, and Australia agreed to new Indo-Pacific Security Pact. French says leader of ISIL group in Sahel has been killed. In Mexico, hundreds of migrants protest in southern city of Tapachula. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. On the third day of his Meet the Farmers tour, His Excellency started his journey by visiting numerous project sites and farms within North Bank and some parts of Central River region. Star TV's Modu El Bajis with the President, Jacqueline Colley reports.
The President's first point of call was Balingo in Upper Badibu, North Bank region, where a holistic agriculture business solution garden is operated. The project was established in 2019 and was implemented by the Rural Development Organization to enhance agricultural outputs for the inhabitants. After that, the presidential delegation visited a road project linking communities from Sabasu Koto to Bambali, Giant Sanjal to Sarakunda, totaling a length of 38 kilometers for Lot 1. The executing agency for the project is the National Road Authority, the authority responsible of ensuring that the country has good roads, contracted GAMEX and a risky group to deliver as such. These landmark projects are expected to last for a period of 16 months after commencement in November, when the President of the Republic has laid the foundation stone. Lot 2 will connect villages from Kawo to Jimbala, Kawo to Kerchindu, Jaring Mandinka to Yugo, and Chamen to Nyanga Bantang. The people of Salum in CRR North assured President Barrow of victory in December by declaring 85% of their votes to him in the upcoming election. We have nothing to do but to show gratitude to the President and his government for the projects he has brought to our doorsteps, they said. During his deliberation at a meeting held in Panchang, the President presented ambulances to various communities. The said ambulances are meant to promote easy access to health care services to people in remote villages, irrespective of their political affiliation. President Barrow also revealed his government's plan to provide another set of ambulances that will provide emergency services to accident victims on the road. Honorable Ahmad Nkepa, the tourism minister, who is also a native of Salum, said the people of Sierra North have never betrayed him and believes they will never do so, especially in times of need. The President has done a lot for Sierra North, therefore a lot believe that the people of Sierra will cast their votes in his favor to show him gratitude. Jacqueline Colley for Star TV News.
A 2-day capacity building training for women in politics and leadership is underway at the Atlantic Hotel in Banjul. The training, organized by Rafaela, the Gambia National Chapter, is being funded by the UNDP. Mariam Madam reports.
The training is aimed at strengthening women's rights in politics, leadership, peace during and after elections, among other key areas such as gender-based violence. The president of the Rafela, the Gambia National Chapter, Mayoress Rohey Malick Lowe, says the majority of the country's population constitutes women with votes, and despite the advancement and the importance of women's participation in politics, they continue to be underrepresented and marginalized in terms of power and resources. Finding solutions to these challenges, she said, is the reason for the establishment of Rafela in the Gambia to as well complement government's efforts in empowering women politically and financially.
It's not a political party. Rafela is here to complement efforts of the government to empower women and also to complement efforts of CSOs. So therefore, Rafela women are women of substance, and Rafela is celebrated every day all over the region. So that means Rafela is operating all over Africa. So, and we are proud as women to be associated with Rafela, an organization who came only to empower women.
Mayoress Lowe said the training will equip members with communication skills for advocacy of a gender-balanced political system and financially. She, however, advised women to be each other's keepers so they can achieve their goals. The chairman of Tango, John Charles Njai, said women's involvement in politics is very crucial and emphasized the need for them to demand leadership positions as men. He urged women to stop following politicians without being allowed to lead.
Women's participation in the arena of politics is a non-negotiable. I believe the time has come for Gambian women to stop being cheerleaders. Let Gambian women begin to demand to take responsibility in political positions. Tell your political leaders you will stop supporting them if they don't give women their rightful place in their political parties. Women don't wait for things to be handed over to you. Begin to make demands for what belongs to you.
The PRO of Citizen Alliance, Nene Freda Gomez, among other speakers, also spoke on the need for women to demand what rightly belongs to them in terms of decision-making in their various political parties and the government.
Let's not be negotiating, let's not be begging. Let's take it on the table. And how do we take? By being part of the decision-making table, by sitting around the table where the negotiations are being made, so that we will be part and parcel of whatever is being done.
She also dissuaded women not to allow themselves to be used by politicians only in electioneering process and advised them to fight for their rights as women. Maria Madem, reporting for Star TV News.
As part of its election observation activities ahead of the December general election, the Peace Ambassadors, the Gambia on Thursday convened its monthly stakeholders dialogue at a local hotel in Kololi. Our Sani attended it and she sent us this report.
Peace Ambassadors, the Gambia has some years ago been accredited by the IEC as an election observation group in presidential, legislative and local government elections. As part of its partnership with the National Democratic Institute, the Gambia, Peace Ambassadors, the Gambia is widening its election observation from election day to systematic long-term observation, encompassing major electoral process in the entire election cycle. Following extensive observation of the recently concluded general voter registration exercise, Peace Ambassadors Gambia recently dispatched its regional coordinators alongside program managers to observe the list of voters posted in registration centers. They also visited IEC regional offices. According to PAG President Boubacar Sambou, their observers have discovered that a lot of registered voters did not understand the significance of the display of the lists.
From the observers' findings, indigents of some communities were publicly speaking on the process and publishing their intent to object to some names on the list, who they suspected were non-Gambians. Peace Ambassadors observation findings shows that a lot of registrants did not understand the importance of this process, that is the display of voter rolls. And as a result, most of the display papers were torn apart in many centers such as Odin Cinema, Lesser Wharf Market, and some centers in Farafenni and Basse. In some of these places, as the IEC pasted the voter list, some people just came and turned them off because they do not know the value of those papers. Many registrants also claim they were not aware of the process due to lack of information.
Meanwhile, Park said despite the COVID-19 surge in the country, almost all the political parties are bringing together thousands of their militants in their political activities in the various regions.
The Gambia registered a total number of 9,867 COVID-19 positive cases, of which 9,504 cases recovered and 330 death cases registered. Currently, there are 33 active cases as reported by the Ministry of Health's 15th September update. At most of these gatherings, the COVID-19 guidelines such as hand washing or sanitizers were not being implemented by these parties and their militants. The talking point here, in the midst of the pandemic, what recommendations are to be made to limit the transmission of the virus during the political activities, such as the nominations and campaign period, as well as the election day?
On electoral violence mitigation, Sambu said,
report by ONEP indicated that diverse political rhetoric, verbal and moral violence, misinformation and spread of fake news, physical violence, which includes destruction of property in certain places, were threats likely to undermine the ongoing electoral process if they remain unchecked.
Peace Ambassador's Gambia Program Manager Mamadou Juju Jallo urged Gambians to continue coexisting in peace.
We have almost 2 to 3 months before the election, and it's important as an organization we talk to each other, because once we talk to each other, we can able to understand and tolerate one another, because in what we are hearing currently in this country, people are saying we either make it or break it. So breaking it, I will not be in that wrong side of the history. We can all say let there be violence, but let it not come from me. So we will urge every young person in this country and every Gambian, let us maintain the peaceful coexistence we all have. And let us know Gambia is our country, is our home city, our continent, and let's make it a better place for all.
The program manager of the National Democratic Institute, Yasalin Jai, spoke about their park partnership.
A range of issues that will be discussed, including the display and appeals period following the voter registration process. We also have a lot of political activities that are happening at the moment amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. We have a conversation on the agenda as well. There will be an opportunity to put forward recommendations on mechanisms to mitigate potential electoral violence or conflict, which is always likely in any elections. So we look forward to a very fruitful discussion, timely as well, and applicable recommendations as an outcome of this conversation.
She added that there has been some interesting developments in the electoral process in the country, and that PAC is ensuring that the processes are observed and existing gaps and concerns are highlighted and recommendations are put forward to address some of the issues. For Star TV News, this is Awasani.
Lead counsel of the TRRC and presidential hopeful Asafo has described as an attack to his faith claims in some quarter that he belongs to the Ahmadiyya Muslim sect. He also received another presidential hopeful Kitabo as political host reading beginning 81 days before Gambians returned to the polls to elect their president. Mr. Fall made this clarification on Thursday as he conveyed his maiden press conference days after announcing his intention to run for president.
But I am appalled and disappointed by the attack on my faith. I'm a Muslim. There are many branches of Islam. I don't embrace any tariqa. I'm a simple Muslim. I'm not a Murid, I'm not Ahmadi, I'm not Lion, I'm not the many branches that are there. I'm a Muslim. What I believe in is to do my 5 daily prayers and observe the 5 fundamental pillars of Islam. I have nothing against the Murid, as I have nothing against the Ahmadi. I am a peaceful and tolerant person. I tolerate everybody in the exercise of their belief. And that is fundamental and absolutely necessary for the survival of this country, and indeed every country in the world. But they don't have any answers to what we have to offer. Politics is a competition of ideas. It is not a dog fight in the mud. I refuse to be dragged in the mud. I would not call anybody names. I will not insult anybody, for I respect all of them. And I respect their mothers and their fathers and would never utter a lie or a foul word against them. Let them utter it against me. I forgive them.
For those who are the local stories, we will be back with international news after the short break.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gosh Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gosh Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gosh on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gosh Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.goshglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh.
Welcome back after a commercial break. If you were just tuning in, this is Star TV News from our studio here in Sarakunda. And now the news beyond our borders. The UK and US have agreed to help Australia develop nuclear power submarines under a new partnership they are calling the Indo-Pacific Security Alliance. Al Jazeera's Mike Hanna reports from Washington, D.C., the U.S.
3 nations commit to...
It was an unusual prelude to a Biden White House briefing, a video extolling the depth and length of the relationship between the 3 countries. The only time the U.S. has shared its nuclear propulsion technology was with the UK back in 1958. Now Australia will become part of this exclusive club in an alliance labelled AUKUS. The US president joined remotely by the other 2 leaders.
The first major initiative of AUKUS will be to deliver a nuclear-powered submarine fleet for Australia. Over the next 18 months, we will work together to seek to determine the best way forward to achieve this.
Only a handful of countries possess nuclear-powered submarines. And it is a momentous decision for any nation to acquire this formidable capability, and perhaps equally momentous for any other state to come to its aid.
And President Biden confirmed a new emerging US strategy in the Indo-Pacific region.
We need to be able to address both the current strategic environment in the region and how it may evolve, because the future of each of our nations, and indeed the world, depends on a free and open Indo-Pacific enduring and flourishing in the decades ahead.
The announcement came only hours after North and South Korea conducted missile tests in a ramping up of tension in the region. China was quick to make a call for restraint amidst mounting international criticism.
The word China was not mentioned by any of the leaders during the Washington announcement, but there's no doubt that what is regarded as Chinese expansionism is a motivating force for the formation of this new alliance. And clearly it would appear China thinks so as well. The Chinese embassy here in Washington has been quick to issue a statement saying countries should shake off their Cold War mentality and ideological prejudice.
The UK and the US have long maintained a significant naval and air presence in the Indo-Pacific region in competition with China. The injection of Australian nuclear-powered submarines could well intensify this new Cold War under the water as well as above. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
France says that the leaving of ISIL-affiliated Islamic State in Greater Sahara group known for its deadly attacks in the so-called tri-border region of Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso has been killed by French forces. More in this report.
France says its special forces have killed the leader of ISIL in the Greater Sahara region. Adnan Abu Walid al-Sahrawi was behind the killing of 6 French charity workers and their Nigerian driver last year. President Emmanuel Macron hailed the operation as a success in France's fight against armed groups in West Africa's Sahel. Nicholas Hack has more from Dakar.
We've heard from the French Defense Ministry that this neutralizing of al-Sahrawi, as Emmanuel Macron describes it, happened in August. But it's only now that they're announcing the official death of the head of the ISIL affiliate in the region. This al-Sahrawi was behind numerous attacks against American forces in Niger, but also against French forces and African Malian forces on the ground in the border area of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. He is a significant figure. He was part of another armed group before that, Al Marabitoun, who was responsible for the attack on a hotel in Bamako. But before that, he was part of Mujao, which was a group that took over the north of Mali. So this is a significant attack, at least from the French's perspective. The timing of it is interesting because just yesterday we heard of Mali, the new Malian authority led by the military there, wanting to engage with Russian mercenaries to reinforce their position in Mali and try to fight off armed groups. Now, France has said that that is unacceptable. If that was the case, then they will pull out altogether. We heard from the German defense minister yesterday saying that they would do the same. We know that the Russian mercenary group Wagner is present in the Central African Republic, and there's been talks and discussions happening in Mali. But nonetheless, this is a significant announcement by the French to try to bolster that they are the one there to ensure security.
Tens of thousands of migrants hoping to reach the U.S. remain stuck in southern Mexico. They are mainly from Haiti, Central America, but cannot leave the border down of Tapachula due to a Mexican government policy. Despite the blockade, more migrants continue to arrive every day, making the crowded southers unlivable. Al Jazeera's Manuel Palo reports from Mexico.
Desperation is growing in Tapachula. On Wednesday, hundreds of migrants, mainly from Haiti and Central America, took to the streets in protest. They're frustrated over Mexican government policy that prevents them from leaving the city.
We just want to get out because we're not here to stay. We're just going through. We have no money, no food, nothing. We're in prison here without anything, and the government does not help.
Some protesters are parents with children who say the city is overcrowded and food and shelter are becoming harder to find.
With my children, it's very difficult. There are no jobs, no food. We're living on the street. We have many problems. I have nothing. We need help.
Since the start of the year, the number of migrants arriving in southern Mexico has only grown, and so have tensions between them and authorities.
This cannot be happening. It's like we just came from Africa in chains, like modern-day slaves. In a democracy, everybody has to be free.
With shelters for migrants and asylum seekers already over capacity, many say their patience has run out.
Demonstrations like this one with hundreds of migrants blocking off traffic have become quite commonplace here in Tapachula. And local residents tell us that this is the worst migrant crisis the city has experienced in recent memory.
An estimated 40,000 migrants are currently stuck in Tapachula. Some have been here for months, and more continue to arrive every day.
I call President Lopez Obrador to stop being a puppet of the United States, to stop being the guard dog of the United States, to follow Mexican law and stop repressing the migrant population, stop beating up migrants, stop combating and treating migrants like criminals.
Despite the Mexican government's strategy to contain migrants in the southern part of the country, experts warn the impact on overall migrant numbers reaching the U.S. southern border is negligible. Instead, the policy of limiting their mobility has only turned the city of Tapachula into a pressure cooker, and tensions are ready to explode. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera, Tapachula, Mexico.
And before we end the news, a recap of our main headlines. President Barrow inspects ongoing works in North Bank and Central River region. Rafaela trains members in politics, leadership, and peaceful election promotion. Peace ambassadors, the Gambia conveyed stakeholders dialogue following voter list observation exercise. Asafo dismissed claim he belongs to Ahmadi sect. On the international scene, US, UK, and Australia agreed to new Indo-Pacific Security Pact. French says leader of ISIL group in Sahel has been killed. In Mexico, hundreds of migrants protest in southern city of Tapachula. That's all for this edition of the news. Thank you for watching and join us for tomorrow's news. Keep watching.